Hey,
Hello.
good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So thank you guys for coming during your lunch hour. Today's webinar is about maintaining your confidence as a small business in uncertain times. If this is not an uncertain time, I don't know what it is. I'm sure that we all can agree that pretty much all of us, this is probably the first time we've all been in what we call a pandemic. It's horrible. It kind of just was sprung on us. We didn't know how to respond to it because we've never been in a pandemic. And on top of it being a pandemic, the economy, it's horrible. It's not doing that great either. And we all have businesses, and unfortunately, a lot of businesses are not doing well or have had to go out of business, for whatever reason, doing this. And that's horrible. And that's not a good thing. So the whole thing is, we got a pandemic, we have our businesses, we're dealing with everything and navigating with everything the best way we can, but we still have to deal with ourselves, as people every single day. So how do we do that? And you have a business. So before we get started with digging into that, I want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about who I am. So, just in case you were wondering, my name is pronounced Milan. It's like Milan in Italy, or like Milan, the Disney movie, how the kids say, however you choose to remember it. That is how you pronounce my first name. My last name is Rice, like the rice you eat. I was born and raised in Chicago, but I came here to Arizona 5 years ago. So the whole purpose of me leaving Chicago is because I didn't want the extreme cold weather. And somehow I probably should have did my research. Now I'm in extreme hot weather. So I went from one extreme to the other. And so that's totally fine though. My background is in marketing. So I definitely have worked for advertising. I've worked for the federal government, and I've also worked in the entertainment industry. So I have done a lot. And so I know a little something, just a little bit. I officially started my own business back in 2010. At that time, I was working for the federal government, and I remember clearly a friend of mine who was on my team. We were walking down the hall after a very long federal government meeting, and we were just talking. We have been talking for a couple of days about starting our own business, and it just came to me. I was like, M Drive. That's it. That's the name of my company, M Drive. And to this day, we're still really good friends. And he always calls me M Drive. He never calls me by my real name. So that's how that came to be. And then when I came here, let me back up just a minute. In 2010, when I did start M Drive, I was a marketing consultant. I was doing marketing consulting. And when I got here in 2015, I decided I hated it. I was like, I don't want to do any more marketing and consulting. So basically, I realized I was a transformational speaker and life coach. What brought me to that, I was looking through some pictures, and I was just like, I was speaking in all these different places, and when you're a marketer, you're always doing presentations and things like that. So I was going through, the pictures. I'm like, wait, this is a community organization. Okay, this is a girls. I said, okay, this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So right now, I decided to rebrand and reform everything. All right. So that's enough about me. Now you know what my credentials are. So let's get into why we're here today. Now, I'm not going to do all the talking. I do encourage you guys to yourself, if you have a comment, or if you want to put some comments in the chat, please do, because I don't want to be the only one in here feeling like I'm by myself. Okay. So what we're going to do today is a temperature check. So I want everybody to be totally honest about what you're feeling towards your business is today. Okay. No judgment. How you feel is how you feel. We're here to help each other, and we're here to learn. So are you feeling great towards your business? Is your business doing great right now? Are you having occasional issues, but you're hanging in there? You're going to work it out. Are you kind of at the point like, I'm really tapped out and I'm not sure where to turn, what to do? or you're at the point you're just like, I give up. This is not it. So you could put your answers in the chat, and then if one brave person wants to take themselves off of mute and tell me which one of those temperature checks you are, and let's talk about it. Who wants to be brave?
I'll do it.
Okay. What is your temperature check?
So mine is, well, maybe I should say I'm a realtor. So with our business in our industry, it's still, we're still doing well. Those of us that have been able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's not a housing situation with what we're going on as far as the financial aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm having occasional issues, but I'm still hanging in there because there are ways around the issues that we've run into, like, for instance, just showing homes.
Okay.
You know, whether it's virtual or something like that. So we have been able to get over those issues.
Okay. So how do you get over those issues? So the occasional issues that you have, how do you get over those? What do you do?
Well, I mean, you just got to go for it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as safe as I still try to maintain, because you know, I was an essential worker. I think we're kind of all opening up a little bit more, but
Mm-hmm.
I was considered essential, and so I would still have to go do my job. I would, you know, my mask. I would sanitize and do all of those things. And
Mm-hmm.
if a seller required that maybe we put on or take our shoes off at the door, we would
Mm-hmm.
have to adjust
Mm-hmm.
to what, you know, what was asked of us. So,
Okay.
I
So
mean,
what do you think that you have to do to get from having occasional issues but hanging in there to get to doing great?
I had to adjust.
How? How do you
Um,
adjust getting to doing great?
oh, how do I adjust to doing great?
How would you adjust to doing great?
Um, you know, I don't know. I guess I don't really know if that is in my control though. You
It
know?
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's in your control.
I don't know then.
Good. I'm glad you don't know. So great. If we knew everything, then we wouldn't need each other. So great. So hold on to your I don't know. Do we have somebody who is doing great in the chat and that's here? Nobody's doing great. Okay. Is there anybody who is at the I give up or any of the anything but having occasional issues? Is anybody at tapped out or I give up? Nobody? Okay. Because I can't, Summer, I can't see the chat. Is it
No one's commented on the chat yet.
okay? Well, let me just say this, guys. We're here to help. I'm here to kind of help you get out of wherever you are, because having confidence is a deep thing, so it's going within. So in order for me to help you, you have to talk. We're going to help each other because the people who are doing, if you're doing great, then this is an opportunity for you to say what you're doing to somebody who's having occasional issues or somebody who's tapped out or somebody that said, I give up. So I'll be honest, because I'm not perfect and I'm not here to act like I'm perfect. I just understand things differently. So I am at the having occasional issues, but hanging in there. So for me, what I have to do are some of the things that I have been resistant to do. So for me, I know that going on social media and doing lives are huge right now, especially when you can't when you can't be in public places. Generally life coaches and speakers, we're always speaking somewhere, doing events. We can't do that right now. That's totally out of the question, right? So I don't want to do Facebook lives, but how else is somebody going to see me? that is my fear. I don't, even though I'm a public speaker, but getting on Facebook Live is something I don't like to do. So in order for me to go from having occasional issues to doing great, I have to do something that I'm resistant to doing. So is anybody here have anything that they're resistant to doing right now that may take you to a doing great level? Okay. All right. So let's move on. So no, Myrtle. So back to you. You're having occasional issues. What are you resistant to doing right now? Or what is something
Well,
that you have um know you should do, but you haven't when it concerns your business?
okay. I was gonna chime in, but so it's my workshops. So, which you're
Mm-hmm.
familiar with. So I had actually, I think I scheduled with the lender. We were supposed to do one, I don't know, let's just say maybe about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Similar situation like yours, where we used to do them in person, but like you said, um, you know, we got to start doing things a little more virtually. And it would be just as easy, just as I'm here today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Okay.
I'm extremely fearful.
Okay. And that's okay. We all are. Everybody is. Everybody's fearful because we don't know. So I mean, but generally that thing that takes you to the next level is the thing that you're resisting. So I suggest you guys go back to your business plans and look at some things that maybe you haven't done yet. Okay. But that brings me to our next slide that it is not going. Why is it not going? Hold on.
You can try to possibly exit out of full screen mode, and you might be able to go to the next slide if it's not working on your full screen mode.
Okay.
See if that works.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I don't even know how to do that. I'm gonna figure that out.
If you press escape on your
I am,
um
and it's not bringing me out. But it's also, hold on. Let me find it. There we go. Okay. So these people are the wealthiest billionaires right now. There are some millionaires that's moving up. There are some people who weren't millionaires who are now millionaires. Okay. Now, Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, I read their stories, just a general biography of who they are, where they started. I'm assuming, they started the same way that all of us started. I started from an idea, just walking around, an idea, and the desire not to want to work for somebody for the rest of my life too. So these men are millionaires. How do you think they're making it in an economy like this? Anybody want to chime in and give their 2 cents on why they think these men are making it? Because they have a business too. Because I see Amazon trucks everywhere. And I get updates from Facebook every other week. They have new things, new features, dating features. They have different things that I'm sure that was in their business plans, the things that they may have or resisted to do. But now they have done extra things. So why do you guys think that they are making it in the midst of a pandemic and in the midst of a pandemic and an economic turndown?
Nancy commented in the chat and said an original idea, good timing, great implementation, and perseverance.
Yes, that last one, Nancy, nailed it on the head right there. Perseverance. From my understanding, when Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook, he started in a college dorm room with 3 people, but now it's just him. It was just him. The other three people was like, it's not gonna work. Now look what he's worth right now, $54.7 billion. Jeff Bezos, he figured out Amazon, and they have increased their total wealth in a pandemic. So do you think their perseverance has disappeared? Absolutely not. And so that is no different for us. Just because they're billionaires don't mean that we can't get there. It's just something within us that we have to push. We have to get past, what we see. They're sustaining. So how do you guys think you can do the same? How do you think you can, and I love that, Nancy, how do you think you can persevere in a climate like today?
I mean, I would say you got to find a way to, I don't know, I guess go about things differently. Maybe
Bingo.
what worked before, or just a little bit more of what was working before. I don't know.
No, you do know, you're saying it.
Yeah.
You have to go about doing things differently. You can't do the same thing thinking you're going to get different results, right? So you can do that. And also, whatever your product or your business is, it's the best thing since sliced bread. That has to be your mindset, 100%, whatever it is. I don't care if you are scrubbing toilets for, your business is janitorial, and you're in these commercial buildings scrubbing toilets. You're the best janitorial business ever. In your head, you have to tell yourself that every single day, no matter what is going on in the economy. Because if you keep telling yourself negative thoughts, then you're going to believe whatever your mind is going to believe whatever you tell it to do. So apparently these men said, I'm going to make this amount, even though I know a week ago they all lost $29 million, which is not a dent in being 54.7 billion. But at the same time, they're still being, moving forward as far as what their plans are. And even I've seen some millionaires, I've seen some products that Honey Pot is a women's feminine product company. I can't go into Target, and I don't even really look for it. I just look for it to see if it's there. It's never there, because Target says they sell out in 30 seconds. That's something that you need, but you don't have to buy Honey Pot because it's a lot more cheaper than the other brands that we know of. So something is happening. People are still spending money. I go into a local coffee company right here at Chandler. It's just as busy as Starbucks. Literally, it's a line right outside. So so basically what I'm saying, it is coming from you. Like I said from the beginning, it's coming from within. Your business can survive. It really can, and you have to figure out what that thing is. It's inside you already. So you have to do the same as they're doing. They are moving forward. They're going forward with their plans. And as we know, everything is not black and white. Some things don't, it doesn't work out, but you can't, stay there and cry over your failures. You got to keep moving forward. So you guys know that already. All right. So let's see if this works. Yes. The number one thing that I tell every person that I coach is to remember your why. Why did you start a business? Why? Myrtle, why did you don't have to answer, but Myrtle, why did you start real estate? Nancy, why did you start your business? Why did any of you guys start your business? That should be at the forefront of your head every single time. Why? You're going to let the economy and a pandemic, even though I'm not saying it's not serious, it is nothing to be concerned about, but anything is possible. Anything. I could 10 years from now, I didn't think I was going to be doing this, but you couldn't pay me to think that. I thought I was going to be some type of vice president or executive working somewhere, but anything is possible. I'm now here pouring into you guys because I know how it is. You know, you have your bad days, your good days, but we're going to get everybody on this call, on this webinar is going to get past that. So remember what your purpose is. Why did you start your business in the first place? Was it to pursue your passion? Was it because you want financial freedom? Did you want flexibility with your family? Because, you know, working in corporate America, you don't get that flexibility. Did you want to help others? That's what I wanted to do. I want to help other people. And I do want flexibility too. You know, did you want to create jobs? And here's another thing. If you have a company that has, if you have employees, maybe this is a time that you focus on pouring into your employees, because I can't remember the name of that real estate company last year, where they have an annual Christmas party and the CEO gave every single one of their employees, I think it was about 2,000 employees, a bonus, you know, for helping them grow their business. I'm not saying you can do that now, but maybe you can do something to pour into your employees, because I can tell you, I know this for a fact. If you pour into your employees, your business will grow. If they believe in your product and you treat them right, your business will grow. Just as the CEO of Southwest Airlines, as Google, as Yahoo, as Zappos. I know people who work for those companies and they love it there. They're not going anywhere. And they are definitely faithful. They definitely bind into their 401ks and all of that. So maybe that's a time, this is a time where you can do that. So are you trying to create generational wealth? I hope so. You know, so what is your why? Why did you start your business? So remember that. That is your confidence right there. Remembering your why, understanding that, and then understanding that, you know, your business is the best, whatever it is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, so don't ever forget that. So, does anybody want to share why they start their business? I want to hear somebody besides Myrtle, who, I want to hear what your business is and why you started it. Can somebody volunteer? That you could take yourself off of mute if you can. Because I don't know what everybody's business is here. So it would be great if one person took themselves off of mute.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Erin.
Hi. So I own a coffee and tea house.
Oh,
And
awesome.
yeah,
Where is it?
it's Songbird Coffee and Tea House. So it's in the Roosevelt Row Arts District in Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I have to remember when I'm in that area to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So why did you start that business?
I wanted my independence. I guess I looked around at what was available for me to enjoy at other coffee houses, and I have strong opinions about how things could operate and what they could offer. So I wanted to create a space for community, for a diverse group of people to exchange ideas, and to have a quality drink that meets my personal standards.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So how are you doing? How do you feel that you're doing business-wise?
You know, business in itself, for how we're operating, we're not allowing anybody in yet.
Okay, I understand that.
So for how we're operating, we're doing okay. I'm
Good.
just having a hard time building up the motivation to get things done.
With
Just to shop and making improvements and gearing things up to open. Like I want to be taking advantage of this time when I don't have customers inside to get things done that are otherwise not possible. And I am making progress, but
okay.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of not being able to foster that community's kind of got me down these last few months. So I think remembering my purpose and why I started is helpful. It's just hard to focus on those things when the world is in the state that it is in. It's just kind of depressing.
It is. It is depressing. However, everything you said and why you started your business is amazing. That alone is amazing. I mean, because you need that in your community. However, how much TV do you watch?
Um, not, I guess probably a couple hours. It's probably
Is it the news? Do you watch the
um,
news?
probably too much of the news.
Stop watching the news.
Yeah.
Once you start
Yeah.
watching the news, you can start motivating yourself to do what you need.
Yeah. That's,
I think the first time I turned my TV on was Sunday in a month.
mhm.
I don't even know. I don't know what's going. I know it's a pandemic. I know, you know, things are going on. I knew that our president was here a couple days ago. I knew that, but I'm not turning on the news. You know why? Because it will get you in the state that you're in right now, not motivated to do what you need to do. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it off. And I promise you, just do it for a month and watch things turn around for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you're feeding yourself constant craziness.
Yeah.
Yes, we do need to know it's a pandemic. Yes, we do need to know what's going on. Yes, we do. But you don't need to know that every single day, every second. Absolutely not. That 199% will affect not you just as a business, but as a person. I have a friend who is low grade depressed because she watches the news every day. I'm like, turn it off.
Yeah.
She turned it off for a week, and now she in Sedona somewhere. I don't even know where she is. I was like, oh, okay. So you stop it. Stop watching the news. Turn it off. You can just figure out a day, one day a week, maybe for an hour or 30 minutes, and that's it. And your motivation for what you need to do for your business will turn around, because that's the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm coming to visit you in a
That would be
month.
wonderful.
No, I'm coming to visit you in 1 month. I'm gonna see.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
That
knocking
would
on
be
your
great.
window like, it's me. Remember? It's me. You know?
Hopefully you
So
won't have to knock on a window. You can just come on.
yes, definitely. But I will come and visit you, definitely.
Okay.
I
Thank
definitely
you.
will do that. All right. Anybody else wanna say what their purpose is? Okay. So cool. So we'll go to the next slide. Some do's, and I'm gonna say some don'ts. So again, remember your why. Hugely important. And remember why you're in business. You know, generally, if it's all about you, like now, let me preempt this. Money is important. We need money, you know, to have different experiences, but that shouldn't be your number one reason why you're in business. It should be one of the reasons why. So again, remember your why. Like I love what Aaron said for community, you know, all those things right there. I just imagine a hot cup of cocoa. I don't even know if she sells cocoa, but I imagine I seen her whole vision with her when she said that. And then affirm yourself. You know, a lot of times, you know, we say things to ourselves like, that's stupid, or you're dumb, or, you know, things like that, or people say things like that to us. So affirm yourself. You know, like I said, that's why I say your company is the best thing since sliced bread. Aaron, your company is better than Starbucks. You got it. You got everything. Keep telling yourself that, you know, affirm yourself. Say, I am a great man. I am a wonderful woman. I have a great business. My business will go far. I will be a millionaire. I don't care. I have stickies. See that sticky right here? I have stickies all over my house to affirm myself, or to remind myself of something. This one says, focus on your future. So whatever my future is, focus on it. I have another one right here, is don't sweat the small stuff. I have stickies everywhere. And then on the refrigerator, it just says, do not enter. Because the COVID wait is real, all right? And like I said before, know that anything is possible. The only reason that we feel that things are not possible is because we tell ourselves that. Anything is possible. I wholeheartedly believe everything that Erin needs to do to turn her business around and motivated to do is going to happen once you turn off the news. I wholeheartedly believe that. And then another thing that we're all guilty of, especially myself, I'm guilty of this too, is inserting self-care. Like I said, my friend, she turned off the TV and she's in Sedona somewhere, praying, hiking, whatever she's doing. But whatever it is that you like to do, because you have to take care of yourself first. If your cup is empty, you can't run a business. You can't, if you have a family, especially, you can't have a business and a family and your cup is empty. How? How are you going to do that? That's impossible. You can't give to anybody until you give to yourself first. You have to make yourself a priority, and that is not selfish at all. And surround yourself with like-minded people. So everybody, as we have all probably have experienced, everybody don't have people around you that have a business, so they don't understand the sacrifices that you have to make. They don't understand why you have to stay behind and count cups, Aaron, or see how much coffee you have left. Or Myrtle, they don't understand why you have to be at 7 o'clock doing a showing, right? Everybody does not understand that. So if you're surrounding yourself around people that are alcoholics, what do you think you're going to turn out to be? Alcoholic. So surround yourself with people that think like you, who have businesses. This doesn't mean don't have people who don't have a business. It's just that when you have a goal, you need to surround yourself around people who think like you. Like they said before, what is that saying? You are the 5 people that you hang around the most. And I have to look at that circle on a regular basis. And you should too. All right, so the don'ts. Stop giving in to your negative thoughts. You have them. I have them. Stop saying that my business is not going to work. Stop saying that the economy is this. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. You have the best company since sliced bread. You can do whatever you want to do. You will be a millionaire. You are putting that into the atmosphere of your mind. It will happen. Your mind is going to automatically start thinking, I'm a millionaire. So you're going to start acting like one. Don't compare your situations to somebody else's. Just because, unfortunately, you may have a friend who had a business that closed, and I hate to hear that. And I hope they can start something back up soon. You may see other stores like I've seen Lord and Taylor close. I've seen New York and Company close. I've seen cleaners that I love here at East Valley. They were closed. They reminded me of Chicago, how they did everything. And I was like, "Ooh, I found you, and now you're gone." I hope they can open back up, soon. So don't compare yourself just because you see that happening. Be grateful that it's not you, and keep moving forward. So there you go, Aaron. I already had you in mind. And number 3 was going to news or TV fast. Stop watching TV. Stop listening to the news. Seriously. Because everything that they're saying is just feeding into the first don't, negative thoughts. If they keep saying on the news, businesses are closing, they're constantly closing. Yeah, that's true, but it doesn't have to be true for you at all. So, and don't be hard on yourself. Stuff happens. Sometimes we are our biggest critics. Don't be hard on yourself. If something happens, don't fall, don't fail backwards, fail forward. Just focus, say, okay, I get that. I got the lesson, duly know to keep going. And don't give up, please, guys. I don't care what your situation looks like. It can turn around just like that. I've seen 2 businesses already turn around. And they're doing amazing. But don't give up. You cannot give up. You have to stay the course. And more importantly, you have to believe that you can do it. So, does anybody have any comments or anything that they want to make about anything, that value of what you have heard today? Did anybody want to share that? No, you guys are shy today. Either you're shy or you are at work and can't talk, which I do understand. But I would like to know if you want to do it in private and tell me what the value of what you thought today was like, or you want to make any comments about anything. Absolutely. However, before we wrap up today, I have a surprise giveaway. I love doing these. So because you guys came today, you took your time out, I have, a surprise that I want to give to the person who was registered first. And that person is Arnold Otero. Is Arnold Otero here? Still here? I know I saw you before. Arnold, are you here? No?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Arnold. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. How's your day going?
Not too bad.
Good. So is it making it better now that you have a $25 gift card coming to you?
No, that's nice. Thank you.
Well, you were the first one to register.
Oh,
So
really?
you were very first
Okay.
one.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Can I ask what business do you have?
Yes. What I do is I'm actually a business banker. What I do is actually work with small businesses.
Oh,
So I'm in the
good.
finance industry. So I'm with Enterprise Bank, and what we're doing is
Okay.
we're a community-focused business bank.
Uh-huh.
And I like to a lot of the classes with this organization, a lot of them just to
Uh-huh.
kind of see what's going on.
Okay.
Sometimes entrepreneurs will like reach out and just
Mhm.
see this was something. So I like to kind of stay in the know and to see what's going on and kind of stay in contact with people. So
Okay, great. Where are you located? Are you in what
we
part of the valley?
we have a couple offices. We have one in the Biltmore area
Okay,
and
I'm in Biltmore all the time.
Scottsdale.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
right near there.
Well,
And
where
then
are you, Arnold?
my office is North Scottsdale. So
Okay, the North Scottsdale. I'm gonna come and visit you, Arnold. Okay.
okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, just shoot me your stuff. Now,
Okay.
and everything, we're kind of homebound too, so that's why I've kind of been working from home. So yeah, just let me
Okay.
know. I could shoot you some
All right.
information about us and stop in,
Yes.
coffee or something. I'd love to.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email you because I have your email address, and
Okay.
you can tell me where you want me to mail it to.
Okay.
But you have to promise me something though.
What's that?
Only spend it on yourself.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah, it's hard. I usually, okay. Yep.
I know. I can feel it. I know. So just spend it on yourself. I don't care if it's on a whole bunch of coffee or whatever. Just spend it on
Okay.
yourself. All right.
All right.
Thanks for participating today.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. So I want to thank each and every last one of you guys for coming and for listening, and for those of you that participated. I love it. So you can reach how you can get in contact with me. Like I said, I am revamping everything, so our website, everything is shut down. So, but if you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram. And you can, it's my first and last name, which you spell Malaun. And my last name is Rice, like the rice you eat, Rice. And you will find me on Instagram. And if you follow me, I'll follow you back. And then when I come visit you at your establishments, I'll take pictures and make sure all of my followers